another interesting tutorial. So today's tutorial will be making this neck tie. You are seeing right there on the dress on the thumbnail is actually a necktie, and this tie will be taking, the measurement will be taken right from the neckline. What we have here is the front dress. Okay, so I just made up to the chest line, from the shoulder line to the chest line. Okay, so just to take the measurement of what we have on our natural neckline. So your natural neckline is your bust divided by 12. So from here, my bust divided by 12 is 3.25. I took it for depth and for width. So that is that for that. So I have this line here as my center back line, and I want to draft the neckline for the back. I'm using 1 inch for the depth of the neckline for the back, and 3.25 for depth of neck width of neckline for the back as well. So I'll just connect my back neckline, and I'll be dropping I'll take my measurement of the shoulder divided by 2, and I'll drop by 1 inch. So I'll just have my shoulder drop right here. Of course, you know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to complete this, but just note that this is your back neckline. So we are going to take our measurements of back and front neckline, and to take that, you can see me taking what I have here as my back. I have 3.5 here, 3.5, and I'll go in here to take the measurement of what I have on the neckline here, and you can see here I have 5.5. so I'm working with 3.5 and 5.5. so I'm going to add 3.5, which is the back, plus 5.5, which will give me, this is 9 inches. So 9 inches is going to be one piece of this necktie running all the way, because there will be a zipper at the back of this necktie. So I will start attaching one of it to the front. So let me just cut out what I have on this pattern so you understand what I'm talking about on this necktie construction. So this is my pattern, shoulder seam line. I'll go through the armhole, and what I have here is my front pattern piece. My front pattern piece. So this is my zipper. I'll just cut, pretend this is my actual pattern. So by the time I cut this and this, I'll just cut it here. Okay, and I'll just cut it here, just pretending what I have here is my full pattern. So our area of interest is the neckline. Okay, so the neckline has to match up, so I'll just reduce this so it matches up. So this is what I'm actually explaining. The necktie will run from center back, and it goes there, down there to center front. So I'll just put two necklines together. That means after you are done sewing your dress, it's time for you to sew the necktie. So I just pretend on paper I'm done sewing my dress, and the neckline has been attached. Okay, so the neckline we are working with here is 9 inches, 3.5 plus 5.5. So it's time for us to start working on the neck tie. So I come in with my pattern paper. So a standard necktie length measurement is 35, okay, inclusive of the neckline. So what are we talking about here? My paper here, I'm measuring 35 inches, and my width is 5 inches. So this is what I'll just do now. 5 inches is my width, 5 inches. So please make sure this 5 inches is okay, is uniform. So I'll just come around here and I'm going to make a straight line of 5 inches. So on this line you see me making here, I'll just have it run all the way at 35 inches. So I'll just close up this part and I'll measure from here to here. I'll measure 35 inches and I will stop. So this is where my 35 inches. So at this point of 35 inches by 5 inches, here is 5 inches width and length is 35. So I'll call this my center back and I'm going to call this my center front. This is the necktie that is going to come to the front. So the width of my collar is usually 1.5. So we have 5 inches here. Okay, so for me to have 1.5, in fact, let me find the midpoint. That is just what we are going to do. Find the midpoint, and from this midpoint measure your half of 1.5 will give you 0.75 and 0.75. So this 0.75, from that point I'll measure that 9 inches we measured on the neck. Okay, the calculation of the 9 inches, I'll measure from the center back. I'll mark my 9 inches. So my 9 inches terminates right at this line. I'll make dotted line for it. That is from back to front. That is where the rest of this will be the necktie. So I will still come over to this line that it terminates, and I'm going to also find my midpoint. So if I get my midpoint, I'll also measure for uniform 0.75 up, 0.75 up, and then I'll make a straight line. Okay, that is that. Then this is the collar that will rest on the neckline. That is how you are going to make it, the collar that will rest on the neckline. And once you come over to the center front, I'm going to come in by 2 or 3 inches. Let me say 3 inches because I really need that connection. I need it sharp. So I'll place it this way. That is the connection of the tie. Then I'll find the midline. Okay, I'll be looking for the midpoint of from this 9 inches. From this 9 inches, I'm going to measure what is remaining. I have 25.5. I'll find the midpoint. This is the midline. So at this midline, I'll also make another dotted line, and I'm also going to make find the midline of this. So whatever I have on the midline, I'll make a mark. And for this, I'm going to take 1.25 up, 1.25 up. I'm going to connect what I have on 1.25 to this. I'll connect on what I have on 1.25 to this. Then I'm going to connect from there to this, and there I'll connect to this. That becomes my necktie. So 1.25 here, 1.25 here, 0.75 here, and here you find the midpoint. From here to here is 3 inches. So I'm going to cut what I have on this neck tie right away, and I'll go in this way. You can see where I'm cutting. I'm actually supposed to use another I was supposed to use another marker for that part, but it's okay. At least you understand what I did right here. So this is it, people, and that is your necktie. All you need to do is to place it on fold, to double it, lining and fabric, add your seam allowances. So this is your necktie, as you can see, looking so beautiful. So once you do, after sewing, turning, ironing, giving it a good press, you still have. So another thing I want to say, this is going to be the down part. Please note the down part, and this is the upper part. So the upper part of it, you are going to stitch close here. You will sew this way. This is how you sew. You sew this way after adding your seam allowance. You sew to the end, continue your sewing this way and stop here. Please, this part I'm marking red, you have to stop. This is the part that will be open. From here to here will be open to be used to sew this neckline. Okay, from here to here is this neckline that has to be open. So by the time you sew it, the way you sew your mandarin collar, once you get here, you stop your sewing for both. You are going to produce these 2 times of it. So once you sew from the back, remember there's a zipper to it. You might decide to add your zip allowance to here so your zip runs through, or you might decide to make a press button. So anyhow you want, but all you know is once you get to the center front, you stop. So once you stop, this is what you have as your necktie falling to the front. So by the time you bring the other one, the right and left one, and you tie them, you have your necktie as it is there on the thumbnail. So that is how we come to the end of this tutorial, and I believe this class was helpful to you. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comment on the comment section and your suggestions as well. Thank you for coming. See you in the next class.